I haven't talked to the vlog about this yet. I haven't talked to the vlog about anything this week. Okay, so I'm stuck here doing installation media on a computer for the guy next door, and it turns out his computer is a lot older on the inside than it looks. I hate the computers that look like they're like badass ultimate rigs like this, but they turn out to be like this. Yeah, so I cracked it open. It's got like 4 gigs of RAM, a Ryzen 5. It's just, yeah. So now I'm installing different media. We're gonna see exactly how this goes. It's at 11% right now. My food is at home getting cold. We'll see.
The next day.
Okay, so today I took my wife's car to get new tires because there's a flat. Speak of the devil. Turns out that K&S Tire that screwed us over on ordering earlier this year, they're the only ones that have the tires for her car. We needed them. She's got a flat. For some reason, they're charging a 4% surcharge for credit cards. It's illegal in Oklahoma. Hard to enforce, but still, state's attorney general office. It's funny enough. Once I told them, they just hung up on me. So we're gonna go retrieve the car right now. I'll pay by check, just to make it inconvenient. But we're gonna find out right now. Teach my daughter 3D modeling now.
What are all the light parts supposed to look like?
It's ready to send to the printer. So by tomorrow at this time, we'll have a giant skeleton we can put together. We just gotta be patient. He's gonna have a peg leg. He'll have, we're printing a small one and a big one. And then he's got a pirate hat.
So he'll have everything a pirate has?
Yeah, even a bottle of rum.
It's Jason's body!
I know, he's got a big body. Oh, like you, big body.
Take that!
It's the end of one of those days where it feels like it's been time consuming, but we've had like larger projects. It's still like, what, a $2,000 day almost. It's just larger project. Short bursts. And then kid craziness. But it's one of those overcast, yucky days where you just feel like everyone's sick, but they're not sick. I think we got a contract with the EMTs local here though, which is cool. They want us to open a purchase order agreement for screen protectors for their ventilators. Thanks, Protection Pro. Had to cut them all by hand. What's in your house?
My toys!
You ready for dinner?
No, I'm not. I'm just...
You want a pizza, dummies?
Yeah?
5 hours later.
Yeah, I just shot my very first podcast solo. Not very first. I always did messages and things like that, but solo podcasts have always been like a very nervous thing for me because I never can tell if I'm looking at the monitor, if I'm looking here. I'm not so great doing scripted work. So, but it is a script I wrote that I feel passionately about. That is something I was trying to write down to make not such a fool of myself about how there's a lot of guys I know that are losing in business right now. Like absolutely getting destroyed on their own account, but also because they weren't prepared to deal with the backbone that is now inflation in the industry. So I don't know if you realize this, parts are about 20% more expensive across the board. And people haven't raised their prices in probably, I want to say, a year and a half. Some people right after COVID did a price jump, but a lot of people didn't. And that's one of the weird things that I've been trying to tell people is if you don't raise your price, you're not meeting their expectations that prices are higher because inflation is real. And a lot of people just disregard inflation and about prices anyway, but the other part is you can be their wake-up call to why it's expensive for an iPhone 11 screen that 2 years ago was $90, now is $119. But it's because parts are going to keep going up when they should be going down. You know, they come down like $5, but then the next month you're like, oh, there's a new premium XLR, you know, and you're like, oh, that must be better. But in reality, it's just another OLED that's renamed and sold to mass amounts of people on a cheaper basis, told that the MSRP needs to be higher so that they can make more money off of you. It's the same way with tires. It's the same way with brakes. It happens at O'Reilly's, AutoZone, Goodyear. I was charged $1,000 for 4 tires today. Discussing that from earlier, 4 tires cost me $1,000 only because nobody else in town had the tires. It should have been $500-600 on the top. And then I still got a recycling fee when I asked them for the tires back because I was going to do something fun with them. I was going to make one of those like kick line for my kids on the backyard because they're decently, you know, not beat up tires. And they still charged me excess fees and surcharges and whatnot. And I was like, damn, this is America now. But it gives me an idea. The more businesses I see and how they operate shows me how I should operate, from the good to the bad. The more I dug into it, credit card surcharges here in Oklahoma are illegal but not enforceable. So now I'm going to charge a surcharge similar to what I did in California. Sorry people, 4% is the way it's going. I'm losing 2.5% plus the transfer about 4%. Only on credit cards, not debit. But cash is preferred, and I still take checks from people. Not bad checks, don't even try it. It's got to be homegrown, people around the corner, somebody I can go and yell at when they're like, hey, your funds aren't there, or I can take to court. But if you're Betty Sue in the trailer and you're like, I've written bad checks in the past, but I just need a break, not gonna happen. We can look you up in 15 seconds. That's an easy mark. But I'm gonna head home. It's 10:23 at night. My kids are already in bed. I came back after, like a good dad would. Put them to bed first, then handled my business. So this is my business hours. We're gonna work on the merch tomorrow. God, I've got so many ideas for some catchy shirts just with the phrase during business hours. Ooh, you gotta wait and see. It's gonna be amazing. All these caps that I'm paying $40 for, I bet you I can provide the same quality with better style at a cheaper price. May not be the cheapest in the industry, but they're gonna be pretty f***ing cool. You just wait and see. I just got told that my son is awake now because I called my wife to let her know how I'll be home, and then he heard the ringtone. Now he's singing the ringtone. Awake. But he was asleep 5 minutes ago. Sorry. Now I gotta go put him to bed again. See how it goes. This is my animated son.
Hey, you can't made the small one and the big one.
That's so cool.
It's big and big, and Daddy almost got it, and Daddy almost let me build this. I don't know how to build it.
Certain things you should do with your kids, such as build them giant Legos. We need the body, right?
Yeah.
I think this is his hook hand right here. Kitty's in the shot. This is my first attempt 3D printing a giant Lego, but then we'll paint it. The back end was a little flat on the ball for the hook, so I had to melt the arm just a little bit to crunch it down. It looks like a giant corkscrew in my opinion.
Yeah.
What?
You almost put it the wrong way. You put it the wrong way. You put... Oh.
Welcome back to Love Family LLC, where we fix f***ups for other stores. This is one of those things. Can anyone tell me what phone this is? This is an iPhone XR, and this, my friends, is the inside Repart iPhone XR. Repart. If anyone uses Reparts, you really got a f***ing problem. Also, there's missing screws, missing panel screws. Now, I know who did this. That doesn't matter. This is a mobile-centric screen. This is one of their Incel cheapest. Let me tell you what the current cost of an Incel-centric screen is $20.11. $20 screen they did for $150, plus the battery from Repart, which is not an Amp-centrics. This is f***ing insane to me, because you could have got a premium or an OEM refurb for $30, $10 more for your $150 customer, and they wouldn't have had what is now just a flat on and off issue with a broken OLED because it's cracked on the bottom left. So we're gonna tear this open real quick, and it won't take me long because there's missing screws everywhere. It's getting crazy, man. I don't know what else to say, but please don't do this to your customers. They're gonna come back to somebody else, and then I'm gonna call you out for it. Don't be like the vacuum cleaners, because they suck. That's all I'm gonna say.
Life can be super happy, life can be super sad. I'm trying super hard to separate the good and bad. I go back to my future just to get to my past.